Hey, welcome back, friends. So what in the world are you looking at here? Well, let me tell you. About a month ago, I built this little contraption to play around and test some RV repair tapes. And so while these are very faded at this point, they've been outside for over a month. We've got Gorilla Tape over here. We've got Flex Tape right here. And we've got Eternabond tape over here. So this has been the dead of summer. These have been in 100-degree days, and they've also been through a couple of rounds in a negative 10-degree Fahrenheit deep freezer at my local convenience store. I'll tell you that story. It's rather embarrassing. So yeah, they've been through the ringer a little bit. And yeah, we're just going to do a little pull test on them today. I've got this little crane scale. I've built a little hillbilly contraption to do some testing on them. And we've kept the backing on them up here to get a good grip. And we're going to see how tough it is to get these things to come loose from this TPO. That's another thing. I've got TPO straight from a manufacturer. I built this little makeshift hillbilly roof, RV roof, to attach these to. I made sure to use rollers to attach these tapes. And so yeah, it should be a fun little test. We're just goofing around here. Obviously, a month out in the sun and a couple rounds in the deep freezer is a good little test, but it's not going to test longevity that well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pull test to about halfway, and then I'm going to let this sit somewhere in my backyard, I don't know where, for over a year, and we'll do the test again sometime next year. All right, guys, welcome back 1 year later. So let's go out here. This is kind of wasteland of our backyard over here, and let's show you where I've got this thing. I've placed it over here in mostly full sun. It has been over a year now. I think that video posted August 15th of 2022, and today is I don't know what today is. I think it's the 20th or something like that, 23rd, I believe, of August 2023. So you can see it actually was over here, and I moved it a few days ago, so it'd been getting a little bit shade during the middle of the day, but I moved it back into full sun, and I'll have to go back. I believe, I'm almost certain, that I'll have to go back and look. You guys are seeing it on the screen. This is a Eternabond tape here. This is the Flex Seal tape here, and this was the Gorilla tape. I'm going to bring this in and let it get to room temperature, but I was just showing you where it has sat for the past year or so. Okay, I got to hurry up and do this video because if Brooke finds out I've had this nasty thing in her kitchen, she's going to kill me. So anyway, there was ant beds all in it. I had to go in and blow it out with the compressed air. Yeah, anyway, we're here. And interestingly enough, I don't know if you guys have watched the other video. If you have not watched the other video, a lot of this isn't going to make sense, or it would certainly be helpful for you to go back and watch it. I'll try to remember to put it in a card up here. But I had put marks with a Sharpie on where we wanted to pull these different tapes to. Like I wanted to pull them, about 6 inches down each to see, how much strength, how much the adhesive was holding. And I'd also written their names here in blue Sharpie, and those are completely gone. So I never watched this. I never even I didn't really pay much attention to it. I would see it while I was cutting grass here and there. But yeah, all those marks are completely gone. So I found that interesting. I had to go back and look and make sure we have these correct. So I'm going to label them once again to make sure we're consistent from last video. Okay, there we go. Eternabond, just to be clear, Eternabond, Flex Tape, Gorilla Tape after a year. Let's do that. They've cooled down, which doesn't take a lot. I mean, this white does not get very hot at all, but they've cooled down to room temp to give them the same type of test as before. I can tell you, huge concern with the Flex Tape. We pulled, you can tell we pulled to here. So all of this should have still been adhered to the TPO, and you can see, I'm going to try to get you down there as close as I can. That's a problem. So that's a huge problem. Matter of fact, we'll see how far that goes here in just a second. So I would make sure to steer clear of Flex Tape, period. It didn't perform well at all in our first test, and you can see after a year's time it even looks worse. We're definitely going to do a pull test still to see how the UV treated it and the age. But yeah, definitely stay away from Flex Tape. No bueno. All right, now let's look at the two, Gorilla Tape and Eternabond tape look very, very similar. And you can see the seams still look really good. We pulled to here. You can see a very obvious stop where we pulled. And you can see where the adhesive that was there is now kind of worn gone a little bit. But yeah, you can see the seam is still, the seal is still there, even through these deformities. I mean, I think our high temp, sorry about the shadows, guys. This is not a professional outfit. I'm not a professional TV show. But I think the deformities in the TPO, the expansion and contraction of the tapes in the TPO, you can see they're just not nearly as pretty as they once were. But it looks like the Eternabond and the Gorilla have maintained their seal for sure. You know, let me try to... Yeah, I mean, that's still very pliable. That's still, it's not at all rigid or brittle. You can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. You can see, yeah, it's still definitely maintaining a seal on both of these. Now this one may be, yeah, it's still, they're very, very similar, guys. I think in the first video I mentioned that the Eternabond tape's a little squishier, and yes, that's probably still the case. But these have experienced temperatures. This past week has been real temperature. I think yesterday was right at 100 degrees. And December we had a really nice cold snap for here in Georgia. Temps were down in the single digits, and it did not get above freezing for 4 or 5 days. So that's pretty legit for Georgia. But there you go, guys. Let's do a little pull test and see how they've held up after a year. All right, I don't know if you guys remember the last video, but it will certainly help you to watch that one. But here we are with our little crane scale, and we've got the most hillbilly thing ever attached to it, including these vice grips. So you can see they got the nice wide grip. These are built for bending tin, but I thought they'd work great for this application. And yeah, let's see what we get. All right, here we go. I'm gonna see if I can actually see what's going on here on this one. Right now we're about 6 pounds, 7. This is a Eternabond. Yes, 30, 36, 38, 41, 42, 43, and it broke. Okay, cool. So about 43 on the Eternabond. I think that's pretty close to what it got last time. All right, I feel like I was kind of getting away the last time, but I couldn't read that scale. Let's see what the flex tape has. Oh yeah, this is about 12 pounds. It's just, yeah, there was nothing to that. Maybe 12 pounds, but I will say there's some good and bad here. Where it stayed adhered to the TPO, it did not seem to leak. So all of this is good, but you can see that one spot, man, it was completely all the way under the tape. So yeah, flex tape, you're not very good. Not compared to these other two, man. I don't know what you'd use it for. I'm sure there's some uses for it. But yeah, I think it got maybe 12 pounds compared to we've already got 40 some odd pounds over here with the Eternabond. Let's go ahead and check out the Gorilla. You know, I'm trying to get close to this because that's going to make it break. But yeah, the Gorilla did really good last time. Let's see if it holds up. All right, Gorilla tape. Let's see what we got. Okay, we're getting into that adhesive a little bit. If you guys can read that. Oh yeah, we're over 50 pounds. Guys, I'm going to call the Gorilla tape the winner already. Wow. Holy cow. Even after a year. So Eternabond's big claim to fame is they have all these UV inhibitors. And maybe after multiple years, that might come into handy. But after a year in the sun and all of the elements, Gorilla tape seems to be holding up better. And I'm really surprised by that because I have been a big proponent of Eternabond. I've been real, you know, I'm always iffy with big corporate products. But wow, this Gorilla tape is legit. All right, here's my very simplified hillbilly Georgian conclusion to this little test. The Eternabond is good. It held up to about 44, 46 pounds before the white part of the tape actually broke. And if you remember last time, we actually pulled harder on the Gorilla tape last time. So that tells me that the white aspect of this tape may not hold up as well over time. We put almost 10 more pounds of pressure on this, and you can see it is still, yeah, I mean, let me see if I can, I'm gonna try to break it. Okay, there it went. So, but I had to bunch it up. And so yeah, I think that the UV on the Gorilla is probably maybe better than the Eternabond. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. You know, that first pull, maybe there was, you know, something happened in this part that put a weak spot in it. I'm not sure, but yeah, using the same tools, I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Gorilla Tape. I have to declare Gorilla Tape the winner here. Either way, your hard-earned money, do not buy flex tape for your roof repair. Your Eternabond or your Gorilla Tape is going to be the way to go. And considering the Gorilla Tape at one time was the cheapest option, you may want to go there. Guys, I hope you're good. Just a follow-up video from the video I did last year. Safe travels, guys. See ya.